So Sam Fisher and I were recently talking about bound behaviors, and at this point, many of us have been sheltering in place for long enough to change our habits and potentially even change corporate culture. And I've just been thinking about, I know that you work with a lot of startups in the San Francisco area. Do you think that, or have you seen any cultural shifts within those companies? And what kinds of bound behaviors and changes in the way that those companies use office space do you think will move into the future?
Yeah, so I think whether early or later stage, high growth technology startups have historically looked at their office facilities as a means of supporting creativity, collaboration, communication, and their growth. Currently, I'd say there are two strong opinions on kind of at either end of the spectrum on how offices will be used by these particular groups. At one end, I think you have some kind of sensationalist claims that the workplace as we knew it will never be the same and a majority remote workforce is inevitable.
Mhm.
At the other end, there are some that believe that the shock and the challenges of this worldwide work from home experiment will only strengthen the resolve of people to want to get back in the office. Where a company falls on that spectrum is largely a result of their industry, core business functions, and as you're alluding to, I think, their culture.
Mhm.
Um, my team and I have had a lot of conversations with tech clients and contacts over the past couple of months. And we've heard a variety of answers to that very question. Um, at this very early stage, it's perhaps too early to speculate on, who's right and who's wrong when it comes to the long-term results of the experiment. I would say, though, that there were several conversations surrounding company culture being had in the tech world before all this took place
Mm.
that are now being brought forward into that spotlight.
This is
For example,
accelerating those trends.
exactly. For example, transitioning towards an increasingly virtual workforce,
Mm.
that conversation's been had prior to this, focusing on employee outputs versus the time that they're sitting in a chair.
Mm.
Communication, transparency, and efficiency. And with that, I think, the trend of flattening the organizational structure. And of course, work-life balance. These are kind of the conversations that, were happening prior to this that are really being amplified now. Overall, collaboration, creativity, connectivity, and the intangible value of those serendipitous face-to-face interactions are messages that the tech community, I'd say of the Bay Area and elsewhere, have been preaching for some time. Will technology startups still value office space and the role it plays in the creation of these kind of cultural fundamentals? I think so.